Hi, friends. Dr. Nancy Trimbley here, putting the power and knowledge of your health back in your hands. We're talking about carpal tunnel syndrome today. Now, the carpal tunnel is a tunnel that's in your wrist, and it is made up of, on this side of your hand, the palm side of your hand, a thick band, a ligament, and on the other side of the hand, the back side of your hand and wrist, is a line of bones. And the two of those make a tunnel that nerves and blood vessels go through. Now, carpal tunnel syndrome, in and of itself, means that there is some compression of the carpal tunnel that is affecting the nerves to your hand. And you may have pain, you may have stiffness, you may have numbness or tingling. And usually, by definition, it is the thumb and forefinger side of your hand and those fingers. If it's the pinky and ring finger, that's a different nerve, and it's not technically called carpal tunnel syndrome. Now, sometimes medical doctors will kind of like lump everything together just to make it easy for you to understand and to form a diagnosis. So, what do you do about it? Do you have tingling and numbness in your hands and your fingers? Do you have pain? Well, there could be a few factors involved. And the majority of the time, it is not a problem associated with your wrists. The majority of the time, the problem is coming from your neck. And here's why. I'm going to screen share with you. I'm going to show you on these photos. And these are just from an internet search for the brachial plexus. I know that's a really hard Latin term to even try to absorb. But what this is that there's nerve roots that come from the spine of the middle and lower neck. And you can see if you look at the screen that all these roots come out and they go and they form into a bunch, a cord of nerves that then divides up after it goes into the shoulder and then down into the arm. And you can see if you look at my pointer here, radial nerve, median nerve, and ulnar nerve. So these are all different nerves that go into different portions of your arm and hand. So you could have pain in any portion of your arm and hand, and it could be because your neck needs a chiropractic adjustment. You are out of alignment. The nerve root is irritated, and it's creating an irritating message to the arm or hand. Let me show you another picture here. This is how those exact nerve roots go down into different parts of the nerves in the hand. And these are very specific portions of the hand. Now, granted, there could be subtle differences from one human to another, but these are very specific nerve roots. Just like if you get on the interstate that's closest to your home and stay on that interstate, you know where it's taking you. That's how nerve roots are. We know what they do and where they go. So what if it is actually in your hand? What if actually the problem is coming from your wrist? What do you do then? Well, there's still a few factors involved here. One could be it's simply inflamed, meaning there is extra fluid being held in the wrist because of your work posture, your keyboard position, you overdid your racquetball game or your pickleball game. You were bowling and you never bowled before. You were snow shoveling, you were raking, you were gardening, and there's literally inflammation in the wrist. That's when you would use ice. And if you want more information about when to use ice and when to use heat, go to my video, Ice and Heat. Now, what if it is a problem with the bones of the wrist? If the bones of the wrist get misaligned, and again, this could be any number of physical things, your keyboard, your shoveling, your you went skiing, you went bowling, you were arm wrestling, you fell. The bones of the wrist can get misaligned. There's about 10 bones that sit here right across the top of the wrist. If they get misaligned, it makes the tunnel smaller, which then will pinch the nerves in your wrist. Again, you need a chiropractor. A chiropractor will adjust your wrist. Now make sure they work on where they work on wrists. Not all chiropractors work on what's called extremities. Extremities mean arms, shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, feet, or even the jaw. So make sure your chiropractor works on extremities and ask them to check it out. Now, sometimes, and this doesn't happen very often, but sometimes there's literally a problem here with this band of ligaments. And that's where a surgery would probably be your best option. I got to tell you, it's kind of actually rare these days. I think that more would happen in the past when there was a lot of heavy labor. So if you are a laborer, there is a chance that a carpal tunnel surgery would help. However, all those other reasons I mentioned don't warrant surgery. So be sure you get all the information you can get about this before you make that decision, because once they do the surgery here, you cannot undo it. And often people are left with residual issues with their grip strength or with sensation in their hand from a surgery. One more thing I want to tell you about, if you've got one of these at home, this is our Terracon Solo laser. The cold laser is great for carpal tunnel pain. You can use it for inflammation, nerve irritation, pain. It can also work on the nerve roots in the lower neck, again, to reduce irritation and on the nerve root. So the Terraquan Solo is a great thing to have at home. Look for my intro video on the Terraquan Solo on my channel as well. One more thing you can do. There is a video on my YouTube channel called Median Nerve Stretch. And this is a nerve flossing stretch that works the nerves from the lower neck all the way down the arm into the hand and wrist. It is phenomenal for wrist pain, arm pain, numbness, tingling, especially because the majority of the time, like I said, it's coming from your neck. So I hope that helps. Be well. Bye for now.